and welcome to what we're calling Season 2 of Coffee Talk with the USA IDA. As always, I'm Colleen Carey, and I'm so happy to be back, welcoming you all to a new season of Irish dancing with USA IDA and some good coffee talk. Today, I have a wonderful guest with me. I have Andrea Thorne. Hi, Andrea.
Hey, everybody.
Andrea is a mom of 3 wonderful dancers over at the Lynn Academy. She has been extremely active as a parent within the Irish dancing scene for years, and she is now one of our very important parent advisory board. Andrea, why don't you tell us a little bit of your background as a parent involved in Irish dancing? And then I want to find out more about how we can all get involved. So take it away.
All right. Thanks, Colleen. And thanks for the opportunity to talk about myself and my kids who dance. So I got involved because my son Jack started dancing at the Lynn Academy. And I remember at the time, one of the parents approached me. It was right at the beginning when he started, said, we have this Lynn parent, or PTA, and we're looking for volunteers. Would you like to join? I said, absolutely. What do you need? And I was thinking, I don't know, a little social media, a little public relations. I go, well, we need a president. I said, oh, okay, I could do that.
It's baptism by fire.
I would say, go big or go home. So I became the president, and it was the best thing I ever did, because at a very early part of my kids' dancing career, I was involved with the school. Now, I didn't even know really what a fesh was. I didn't know that my son, I wasn't really supposed to sign him up for slip jig at feshes, but I did. I'm just trying to frame out how I was very naive as a fesh Irish dance parent, which is fine, because what I gained from that experience of getting involved early on is I learned so much about the sport of Irish dance. I learned so much about the school. And, you kind of are just in the know. It's not that
right.
As a volunteer, you're given the keys to the kingdom. No, there's no special things or anything that happens. It's just that you understand the process. You understand what happens behind the scenes, kind of like behind the curtain at the Wizard of Oz. So one of the things, being the president of the Lynn PTA, is, the Lynn president always runs the Atlantic City Fesh. So I immediately started running feshes, and I loved it. I just used my organizational skills. And again, I didn't do it myself. I just know how to organize an army of parents. And that's really the key, just getting everybody involved. And it's fun because you're there with your family, you're there with your kids. And, I wouldn't trade a second for the involvement over the years with Lynn and the other schools and with the feshes. It's been really great.
And I know from years seeing you helping out, and I think that's what's really nice too, is that especially with USA IDA, what we try to create is not just the teachers, the adjudicators, they're, top tier level, and then the parents are just the paying customers. And I think it's really important that everyone works together to make the experience of Irish dancing the best it can be for everyone across the board, for the teachers and the adjudicators, but of course for the kids and for the parents. You're putting so much time and effort and expense into this dance sport that it's really nice when you feel a buy-in and that you are not only appreciated, but you're needed. We need that backup support. We need that expertise. And I think what you just hit on the head was the delegation, is that when you bring a group of people together, you find out what their strengths are, and then you can really delegate to make excellent top level events. And that's what we always are aiming for.
It's truly a partnership between the schools, the teachers, and the parents. And what's really great is that with our new region is that the parents, our voices are heard, and it is a partnership, and we have a place at the table. No, I can't teach anybody a step. I don't know anything about rhythm and reels, but I can run a great fesh. So, and if I can help out in that way, so let the teachers do what they do so well, and the parents just get involved, and it's camaraderie. Some of my best friends are dance moms and we just laugh and joke about all the fun we've had at the events, and it's great. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, I love that. I love that when you said to have a seat at the table, because I think that that's really what, as from the teacher's perspective, was something that we really feel is so important, and it's not always recognized, and I think it needs to be. And I think that when you have the teachers, the parents, the dancers working together, whether or not it's in preparation for a dancer going to a competition, or whether it's putting on, an event like a fesh or something else, even, like, you're just going to have a better experience when everyone is involved and on the same page. Like you were saying before, that it's not about knowing something that someone else doesn't. It's just about the fact that you really have your finger on the pulse of what's going on. And that is really nice, because I think there's so much information coming at the parents. You're trying to learn about this very intricate dance form. You're trying to know all of the dances and the names of the dances and the music that your child has to do. You're trying to get the shoes and the costumes. And if it's a girl, you're trying to do the wig and the makeup, and it can be a lot. And when you have those relationships with other parents from other schools who may have been around the block once or twice, when you know that you can go to a competition, and if your teacher's not there, if something comes up, you know that you can go to another teacher from another school that's approachable or that you've spoken to before. I just think it's just a nicer experience all around.
I think you hit on something really big there, is that you learn so much. And I've done things. I've picked judges up at the airport and brought them to events. I've driven them back. I have cut sandwiches. I have tours. I have done lottery tickets. I've handed out medals, and done the awards room is a lot of fun. I mean, and it doesn't matter. I mean, I've done every task, and they're all equally as rewarding. And it's really, when you have a school fesh, it's all hands on deck. So that's kind of how we're going into the provincials, really.
Right.
As a region, though.
That's right. So what our official name is a branch. So that's like, right. No, but that's okay. See, that's all part of the learning experience of moving to another group. So we are our branch, and the provincials would be the equivalent of our qualifying event. So people may be reminded of another event that takes place in the Pennsylvania area around this time of year. That is also a qualifier that we may have some experience in knowing about. So I want to just touch upon a couple of things about our provincial. So our provincial is going to be the first weekend in December. It is not over a holiday weekend. So it is December 4th is our official provincial. Okay, so this is the qualifying event. This is the event that dancers would need to participate in to be considered for a world qualifier spot. Now, the organization we are a part of, UNCOGL, has a little bit of a different way of selecting qualifiers. It is up to teachers' discretion, and there's many different reasons behind this. The best thing to do if you have questions is to talk to your individual teacher, and they will help provide you with information about that. But to be considered for a spot, you do need to participate in the event. Now, of course, if you have an injury, if you are sick on the day, just get yourself a doctor's note, hand it into the committee. Your teacher will help guide you with that. So no pressure if something's going on outside of your control. So we're going to have the provincial on the Saturday. We're going to knock out all the competitions in that day. And I know that sounds like a lot, but I know that we can handle it in a really great way. And one of the ways we're going to do that is by asking for the help of all the teachers in the branch, and also for many parent volunteers. And then on the second day, that Sunday, we are having a Christmas holiday fesh that will be an open platform fesh. So the competitions will be a regular fesh. We have a lot of fun theming for that. We have some Christmas charity competitions for the champs who may have danced the day before, who may be feeling a little tired. We still would love them to participate, because there's some really fun things that we're doing that day. It sounds like the Parent Advisory Board has some amazing events that they're planning for that day. I feel like there may be a Santa meet and greet situation, and more information will be coming out about that. But for the provincial, like I said before, in order to make it the world-class event that we are used to, that we are going to put out there, it's very important for the parents not to be intimidated about being asked to give a few hours of their time on the day. Now, I know you've helped out out in very large competitions before. So can you talk a little bit about what your experiences have been?
So I have volunteered at nationals, at the prior qualifying event in the past, and I volunteered every year because, again, I like to be involved with whatever sport or thing my kids are involved in. I like to be involved as well. And it also was fun for me to hang out with my friends, and also, friends from other schools.
Oh, for sure.
I will say this, it's not a heavy lift. They always, those time slots will come out, and usually you'd have to race to volunteer because they go so fast. But the thing about it is I never missed my kids dancing. That has never happened, either at a fesh, if I was running it, or just volunteering, or at a nationals, or at something similar to our provincials. I have never missed my children dancing. So don't be intimidated to volunteer, because it's really great, because again, you get closer to the branch, get closer to the sport, and you understand things that maybe you maybe didn't. Oh, that's why we do it that way, or oh, that makes sense. And you're working close with everybody organizing and running the event, which is special, because then again, you just get, you're just part of the whole process, and it feels good. I mean, I've never heard anybody ever say volunteering doesn't feel good, because that's why we volunteer. We volunteer because we want to give back. And
yes.
So I mean, I feel really good. I just came off a meeting where our fundraising committees has raised all this money for the branch selling mums. Now, I buy mums every year, usually from some organization or ShopRite, but I was thrilled. I've got the best quality mums. I bought them last year at the Sabo school, that's where I picked them up. But it's great. So it feels good to give back. It feels good to volunteer. So when the information's coming out, I know a lot of us have to get through this week, going to Ireland and such. It's a little bit of a time delay, but you know what? It's actually not, because it's always better to kind of volunteer a little, sign up a little bit closer to the event. That's usually when I would put out my volunteer request, a little bit closer, so people know what the schedule is. People are always like, I want to know. It's like, once the schedule comes out, we'll get the list for the volunteers out, the time slots, and just go for it. And I'm willing, Colleen, my prediction is those spots are going to go fast.
Yes, I hope so. I think the other thing too is that, I'm a parent myself. My daughter Kiva had a very short-lived Irish dance career, but I know, just as from a teaching perspective and being close with the parents that I've worked with for so many years, competition is stressful. Even if you have a first place child who is, has won a qualifier before, that is stressful, because in the next year, they're hoping to win again. If you have a child who's hoping for that top 5 or that top 10 or whatever the placement is, it can be a very stressful day. If you're a first time parent, it can be stressful, because you're like, what am I doing? Even though I hope no one feels like that, I hope that we're going to be able to provide guidance for everybody, but it's still overwhelming. And I've always heard that for the parents, one of the things they've enjoyed is taking an hour or 2 hours time slot where they're volunteering. They get themselves a coffee or a tea, and they just sit and chill out, and they're distracted doing something else, chit-chatting with someone from another school, getting some fun information from them or learning about them. And it just takes that little edge off while they're really being so proactively helpful to us who are running the event. And so that's another thing as well. That's very, very helpful, I feel. And when we ask the parents to volunteer, and we're still developing exactly where we need them, all hands are going to be on deck for the teachers. I think that's one thing that is very important for parents to know, is that the teachers put in a ton of effort into running the event. It's a lot of behind the scenes work. You're not always going to see your teacher on the stage handing out the awards. You're not always going to hear your teacher as the announcer on the stage, but they've been critical in pre-planning or executing things the weekend of a large competition. And so when we ask for the parents to help, it's usually something like running a raffle sale table, or if we're distributing journals, which we're still figuring out for this year. We may have them sign up for 1 hour, 2 hour, or just slightly longer slots to alleviate that pressure from the teacher having to be there when they could be more active, on the stage or behind the scenes, running the dance stuff.
Yeah, I've sold journals. I've done raffle tickets at
the dress shop. I know I've seen you at the dress sales.
I love the dress shop. You can't keep me away, because then you go in and you can just go through all the dresses and great.
It is really fun. It's really fun.
So, yeah, I mean, it is a nice break in the day, because I think parents do need to kind of take a breath at some of these events. Go for a walk. I used to go for a little walk around the hotel room, just like a little fresh air, get away from everybody I'm related to, and I come back in and I'm a new me. It's like I love you, but wow, we've had a lot of together time, and everybody's really stressed out in a positive way. It's just like the kids are under a lot of pressure, and we want to be there to support them, but sometimes they want us there, but they don't want us there. So it's hard for the parents. So it's nice sometimes to say, I have to go now to the dress room for 2 hours to do my shift. You're going to be okay. And you're going to practice. And it's like, yes, because it's not like I'm off now volunteering and doing my job. I'm not just abandoning my child. So it's a win-win.
I totally agree. And also the other thing as well is that during a normal school week or work week, we are taking our kids to different events. We are working ourselves. We have like a specific schedule on these big dance weekends. A lot of that goes out the window, and we actually are running our entire schedule around that child. And that can be something that gets, tricky, to say the least. And so I think that giving yourself that little bit of downtime and that little break is really great. And again, super awesome when it's helping the branch to sell it a little more. But honestly, it is really fun. I've always enjoyed, I used to run the raffle baskets at the other qualifier. And that was a big event. We always had lots of parent volunteers, and I always really enjoyed checking in and saying hi to the parents, and really thanking them personally for giving their time to help out. And I always heard back, oh no, this was fun. Oh no, thank you so much. And it just was really nice, because you never want people not to feel appreciated. And trust me, we are so appreciative of our parent volunteers. We're appreciative of all our parents, but especially those who step up. It's always just a really nice thing.
It is a lot of fun.
Yeah. So we were talking before, we are still ironing out exactly where we are going to need the volunteers. Like I said, definitely for some raffle sales. We already know that. Potentially for journals, potentially for dress room. There's a couple of other things, like we said, the Winter Wonderland that we would be doing the day after the provincials. So we will really be reaching out to everybody. So be on the lookout for more information on that coming soon. In addition, a couple of little housekeeping notes. As you can tell, I am wearing my Team USA IDA camp shirt, and this is from last year. Just so everybody knows, you can now put your deposit down for Camp 2022 at the Pocono Day Camp, which will be great. Or Pocono Spring Camp, rather. That's going to be awesome. We're already planning that. Additionally, we added an extra day. We're super excited. Super excited. Yeah, so all the information is available on the USA IDA website. It's on all of our social media right now. And the other thing that's really big is we have a ton of our dancers and families leaving, like as we speak, and I know you're leaving in another couple of days to go to Ireland. I'm so excited.
Some of our parents are in the air right now, flying.
I know.
Over our houses right now.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So, for everyone who's watching, this year there's kind of like a bonus Worlds. There's Worlds now in November, and there's also going to be one in April, which is so exciting. I think that so many of us were praying that this would happen, but in the back of our heads, we're like, this is maybe not happening, but it's happening. So on behalf of myself here at Coffee Talk, I want to wish you, Andrea, like an amazing time with your kids. I want to wish everyone the best of luck. If seeing you guys at Feshes recently is any indication, I think that USAIDA is going to do a wonderful job on the stage in Killarney. But more importantly, I mean, just getting to go overseas and getting up on the big stage again is so exciting. So I just hope everyone really dances from their heart, because when you dance from your heart, your feet always follow. Nice. Yeah, and in the meantime, you can always hit us up on our social media for any questions regarding parent volunteering at the Provincial, and much more information is to come. But we just really wanted to touch base with you guys and let you know that there are some things coming up where we could really, really use your help. So Andrea, I know that you and Sheila from Parent Advisory Board really came up with this as an idea to reach out to the parents. So I want to thank you so much, because this was a lot of fun.
And, you know, Colleen, also, we're all in this together. We're all the parents and the teachers and the dancers. We are a huge community that supports each other. And really, after, you know, once the list comes out of the volunteer positions, I always make my information available. If anyone has a question, text me, call me, email me, whatever you feel comfortable with. I'd love to talk to you. Like, well, I want to do this job, but what does it really mean? What do I really have to do? Call me.
Oh, thank you so much. That's amazing. That type of mentorship is really important. I think, again, it can be intimidating when you're trying to step up in a dance sport that you don't come from necessarily, or you might not know that much about, but there's a place for everyone, and there is definitely a role that we can always put you in.
Everyone has a seat at the table, because it's you don't want one person or to do it all themselves, or one, you know, or you have to really get everybody involved. It's not only is it more meaningful, it's like, you know,
everything just runs more, it lifts everybody, it runs more smoothly, it's more fun. It just turns out to be overall always a more enjoyable event when you have a lot of hands. A lot of hands make easy work, you know, but it's not just that. It's that it just makes it more of an event that you're going to want to return to year after year after year, because this year we're in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Next year we're in Hershey. So that's going to be super fun. I don't think you knew that. Yeah, I know. Stick around to the end of the video, right? You get the reveal. So that's really exciting as well. So once you kind of get your feet wet this year, if you're a new volunteer, next year, you'll know exactly what you're doing. And we'll make sure that we are giving the support and the backup and the information to you at every step of the game. So you're never feeling like you're jumping into something. I mean, honestly, we are not going to be asking you to, like, you know, get on the stage and start the kids with the dancing, or be there, you know, sitting with the adjudicators. Nothing that big at all. It would literally just be kind of like taking a couple of hours to help with some sales of something generally. But, you know, you never know. So it's always good to kind of know what's going on.
Well, I'm personally looking forward to the two-hand Kaylee, and also the family dancing that's going to be happening at the Provincials. And, you know, I know you said that your daughter doesn't dance, but maybe you and your son.
Oh, you know, you never know. Trip is he has some moves. He has some moves. So you just never know. You never know. All right. Well, thank you so much, Andrea. This was so much fun. Again, have a wonderful time in Ireland, and we will circle back with everybody with more information about how you can help out at the Provincial, more information about the Provincials overall coming up soon. And in the meantime, this is us from Coffee Talk saying have a great day. Bye.